Welcome into the Ranch Sit Down, hailing from Rockwall, Texas. Our guest on the Ranch Sit Down today, Miss Graycie York.
This is a song called Dust. Well, he came in one day on his white horse, and I thought he'd be the one to tie me down. But just last night he packed up his belongings, and he rode my heart right out of this here town. Well, I remember that old Stetson that he always wore, and he always smelled like Colorado greens. Sometimes I wonder if in that moment he knew that he was gonna leave me. 'Cause ain't it just like a cowboy to make you think you fall in love? The second you're ready to settle down, he starts to saddle up. You think you have everything you want, but he's always gonna want more. 'Cause ain't it just like a cowboy to leave you in the dust? Well, I remember both of us sitting on that front porch, with his fingers plucking on that old six string. Sometimes I wonder if in that moment he knew that he was gonna leave me. 'Cause ain't it just like a cowboy to make you think you fall in love? The second you're ready to settle down, he starts to saddle up. You think you have everything you want, but he's always gonna want more. 'Cause ain't it just like a cowboy to leave you in the dust? Oh, he's always gonna roam dust. He'll always be a rolling stone. 'Cause ain't it just like a cowboy to make you think you fall in love? The second you're ready to settle down, he starts to saddle up. You think you have everything you want, but he's always gonna want more. 'Cause ain't it just like a cowboy to leave you in the dust? To leave you in the dust. Well, he came in one day on his white horse, and I thought he'd be the one to tie me down. But just last night he packed up his belongings, and he rode my heart right out of this here town.
It's the great Graycie York joining us on the Ranch Sit Down. I don't even know what to say after that. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
You have such a cool, just a cool voice, man. You really do. It's one of those voices that gives people chills. I hear about it all the time. Like, yeah, I saw her and I got chills the whole show. How
good.
cool is that to make that kind of impact on people?
Well, that's great because, I mean, I'm up there the whole time just kind of judging myself. And I'm like, that was,
You're terrible.
yeah,
You're
I was
terrible.
Like, that's not a good note to sing right there. I was like, or I sound like a little boy going through puberty sometimes. At Blue Light one night,
Hey,
it
I
was
do too.
so
Don't worry
bad,
about it.
I had the head turn, like, all at once. Like, everybody in the crowd. And I was like, ooh.
Oh, I did it.
It was that bad. They noticed, too.
That's when you're really making an effect on the crowd, is what it is.
Yeah.
So how long have you known you were going to do music?
My whole life.
Really?
Yep. Yeah,
Were
I
you
was-
like 3 years old holding a hairbrush singing?
Exactly.
Or were you doing that earlier today?
Yeah. All the time. No, I was as long as I can remember.
Really?
Like as far back as it goes.
So
I knew everything.
when you were, doing this and you obviously fantasize about where you are in that moment, like where are you on that big moment? Like what stage are you on? Do you know?
It's actually kind of weird because it's not even one that I feel like a lot of people would say, but I would love to play American Airlines Center in Dallas.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen like every artist that I've wanted to see there.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or like Dos Equis Pavilion, or I knew it as Jexa.
Yeah,
it's had a million names.
It's been a million different things.
But I think right now it's Dos Equis.
Hopefully that sticks.
I know.
I got that one down.
I know, I like that one. But I think those two would just be really, I don't know, I think it'd be fulfilling for me.
So it's kind of, you want to play that show, that quote-unquote hometown show, because you're from Rockwall, so you're in that area, but then the big stage is to show that you've made it.
Yeah.
Have you had naysayers in your career?
Oh, yeah.
Have you?
I've just had, like, it's those little backhanded compliments.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, I don't like chick singers. And I'm like, you didn't have to tell me that. Like, you could have kept that to yourself.
You could have kept that all day
Yeah.
by yourself. And I always find that interesting because, 20 years ago, there weren't a lot of female singers in this music scene. And now you look at today, you gals are writing the best songs. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You are. It's not, everybody makes fun of the tailgates and the trucks and the beer and stuff. You guys are writing song with heart and emotion and soul, and some of it just hurts, which is great, It is. It's like, it's really cool. And I think that's really set the female artist apart now. And it's like giving you some legitimacy for sure.
Yeah. This whole group of women that I'm surrounded with in this scene, they're scary as they can be, but in the best way possible. And I just love all of them, and they're so talented.
Do you remember what we talked about at Larry Joe's, the tour, the Murder Maidens?
Oh, yeah.
I have told so many people about that, and everybody's like, that's the greatest idea ever.
I love it.
I do
Cody
too.
Canada said it was a great idea, too.
Oh, did
he? I think it's meant to be. I think it has to happen.
I think it definitely has to happen. Now, you did a video a few weeks ago of you talking about how much you love Broadway music. Have you ever thought about trying out for a Broadway play, or is this something that's actually happened you haven't told us yet?
No, that'd be great if I was just like, surprise!
Oh, by the way, I'm in Hairspray now.
No, I've definitely thought about it. I love New York. I would never want to live in New York.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Well, who could afford to live in New York?
I don't want to live in New York. But I've always said that if La La Land, the movie, was going to be turned into a musical, that I would try out, because that's my favorite movie of all time.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah, hands down.
That's funny. Mine's Wizard of Oz.
Huh?
Both like the musicals.
Yeah, I love musicals. I always have. And I've also, a lot of people don't know that I've always wanted to be an actress. Like, that's on some of my top list right there, is being an actress. So it's kind of hand in hand.
Have you pursued that yet, or is that just a dream?
No, I've been thinking about it heavier actually this week. So it's funny that we bring it up. But
why this week?
Because I rewatched La La Land again for like the millionth time, and I was like, you know what? This is my calling. I need to do this.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would be, and that would make this interview really cool for me. I was like, yeah, I knew her back when.
Yeah.
I don't like to say.
I got her on Broadway. Thank you very much.
It's just basically because we talked about it on a podcast.
Yeah.
That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Exactly.
So, like, growing up, was there anybody in your family that did music, or you just stepped out there and took the shot?
I did, yeah.
Really?
So both sides of my family, mom and dad, they love music. Like, everybody grew up listening to all different kinds of music, and I mean, it was heavier country on my mom's side because she grew up out in West Texas. But I mean, they just loved music, and so it was just in my blood. And my parents especially, they showed me everything. Like, my dad did not hold back. I grew up on Pearl Jam. I grew up on Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, like Maroon 5, and then you have Rascal Flatts and all the classic country.
Yeah.
So I really just was in music, and I just loved music. And then I saw like Hannah Montana, and I was like, I want to be her.
Hey, now there's your actress/singer.
Exactly.
There you go.
Just take the wig off, and I'm a whole new girl.
That's you, yeah. This whole new persona you can try out. That's frightening, Graycie. Quite honestly, split personality. Is that what it is?
You just go on like a future tour bus, just all hair.
Yeah,
just wigs
just
and
wigs everywhere. You got a tour bus of wigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were your parents thinking when you said, all right, here's what I want to do. I want to do music. They had to be like, you got to have a backup plan, right?
Well, so like I said, I've always been singing, and so it was just kind of a natural thing. They knew that I wanted to do it eventually. But I told them right before I was supposed to like pick a college, I said, hey, I'm not going to college. I'm doing this because I want to. Like, this is my dream, and I'm going to waste your money if I go to college. I really am. And
that's a pretty grown-up thing to say.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I had to be honest because I didn't want to go. I really did not want to go to college. But they told me, if you want to do this, you have to be serious about it. You have to like give it all you got. And I was like, okay. And then I started playing shows, and I started opening for some people, and my parents were like, well, okay, this isn't half bad. Like, she's doing pretty good for herself. So, I mean, now they're all in it.
So when was the moment when you knew, like when you were on stage at one point and you knew, I can do this? Like, this is really happening. Do you remember that moment?
Oh, I feel like it was really my first like show in front of a crowd.
Really?
Where it was a weird setup because I played in the middle of a set because they took a break, like a 30-minute break, and so I came up and played like 4 songs.
Oh, okay.
And it was mainly like family and friends in the audience, but for the people that were there that didn't know me, just like seeing their face when I was singing, I was like, wait, they actually kind of like that.
How old were you at that first show? Do you remember?
18.
18. There's this
17.
There's this kid up here that shouldn't be in this bar.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was for years. Up until last year. Yeah.
That's really awesome. Like that moment. So you've always just been super arrogant and you knew you could do it, right?
There was no second option, and there still isn't.
That's wild.
I still don't know what I would do. I had like thoughts of like, maybe I want to be a teacher, maybe I want to be a hairstylist or something.
Have you met kids today?
Yeah, I know. No,
yeah.
Exactly. That's why I said,
God bless the teachers,
yeah.
but wow.
Pay them more. They need it.
No kidding. Yeah. You got part of my salary.
Yeah. Here, you can have my tip bucket. I
right.
promise. It's fine. Take it. But it was just, there's never been a second option.
Did you do like choir or musical theater in school?
I did choir for a year, and I hated it.
Did you really?
No offense to my choir lovers out there. I respect it, but it just wasn't I was having to learn a whole different language when I was singing these songs because they were like in French and stuff, and I was like, okay, I just want to sing songs that I write and that I love. And I took piano in high school too because that was really the only thing that I could do besides choir, music related.
Right. You had to have an elective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be in band, so piano was my
that was your thing, huh?
Yeah.
So do you write songs on piano?
I actually don't have a piano, which is so sad. My mom was trying to buy me one for my birthday to surprise me.
Your voice in a piano? Come on.
Well, that's funny you say that. We just recorded a song that's a pretty heavy piano. So.
Did you really? So you're still recording stuff. Like, it seems like every time I see you on social media, you're doing something new song-wise.
I try.
Like,
try to get ahead of the game.
You're staying relevant, that's for sure.
I try.
Which is the key. So you've been writing a new song, you got a new album? What are you doing?
I don't know yet. I know that obviously it's a single world, so some singles are definitely going to come out. I've always been on the fence about an album, just where I'm at right now, because I want to go into it smart and not just completely lose all of my money putting out an album.
What a great idea.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I definitely want to put out an album. I just don't know if it's right now.
Right.
I don't know. But I really want to.
You are your toughest critic.
I
can see it right now. I really can see it. So, like, growing up, who were you personally listening to? Who were some of your favorites?
Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline, really?
Always. I remember the moment I heard her voice for the first time and just being like, oh my goodness, she's the most amazing woman I've ever heard in my life. I listened to a lot of Rascal Flatts growing up, and I feel like that's where I get a lot of my harmony skill from.
You said classic country a while ago, and you said Rascal Flatts. That made me feel super old.
Not like that, no. But But Rascal Flatts was like a big one for my whole childhood. And Chris Stapleton, Dolly, obviously. I mean, that's a given. I feel like if you don't listen to Dolly, it's like, how do you not love Dolly?
Why are you even on this planet?
I know, seriously. Everybody loves Dolly.
Right.
Who else? Every time somebody asks me this question, I blank, and I'm like, I've never listened to an artist in my life. Casey Musgraves is one of my, if not my biggest idol.
That's awesome.
And Miranda. I mean, I have a lot of women influences, but definitely a lot of male influence as well. Adele is another crazy one that's kind of left field, but
love Adele.
Huge Adele fan.
Gosh.
I cried the entire time I saw her live, and it was.
You got to see her. I've never seen her.
It's life changing.
I bet.
At American Airlines Center is where I saw her.
Yeah. Why weren't you opening that show?
I don't know. Hello, it's me.
Yeah.
I
so
wish.
I was going to say, if you could write a song with anyone on this planet, Who would that be? But it sounds like maybe Adele.
That would be the saddest song you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, yeah.
The saddest,
It'd be a
100%.
huge hit.
I would
You know,
cry
it would
every
be.
time I'd sing it.
Right?
I'd love to write with Chris Stapleton, though.
Really?
Because I love his songwriting, and I don't know. I feel like he probably has a pretty cool writing process, and I'd love to see how he works.
I love to tell the story, and I hate to make it about me here, but the first time I ever saw Chris Stapleton play, I was at the Americana conference up in Nashville, and they were at the Ryman, and the Steel Drivers came out. And I'd never seen the Steel Drivers, but I knew who the Steel Drivers were.
Mm-hmm.
And it was they were doing a three-piece. There was a fiddle and a banjo, and this big burly guy in like blue jean coveralls comes out, and they had one microphone in the middle of the stage, and the two harmony singers and their instruments, and Chris is like 6 steps back off the mic because he's so freaking loud when he sings,
Yeah.
and it was just like, oh my God, I'm in church.
Oh my, I'm jealous.
Like those are great moments.
I know.
Like, and like you get to create those moments for people. How cool is that?
I don't even.
Like
And that's one of those things that didn't even cross my mind.
Really?
Like I'm just doing music because I
Mhm.
love music. Like it doesn't even register that people actually listen to it daily or they pay attention to what I'm doing.
You've seen your streams now.
But it's still, it just doesn't register.
Really?
It really hasn't
That's
even
great.
registered
That's
that
great, though.
yeah, Texas Rain's popularity still isn't registered in my brain either. So
I wonder why not.
I don't know. Maybe because I'm my worst critic and I'm like,
But-
there's no way that's true.
Probably. When you're out on the road, what is like your favorite thing to eat?
Ooh, not barbecue.
Every
Not-
artist I ask that question
not-
says, like, please stop giving us free barbecue.
Well, and I have really bad acid reflux, so it's like
Oh,
10 times
gosh,
worse
yeah.
on me. And my band's just like chowing down. And I'm like, hope it's good.
I'm good.
I hope it's good. My favorite thing to eat. I'm a big sandwich girl.
Are you really?
I am. Big chip girl.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Big cheese gal.
Big cheese guy.
If it's a festival, corn dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Definitely.
Really anything that's free that the venue gives us is great.
Besides
also,
barbecue.
besides barbecue. If you want to give us a meal ticket, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who has the best corn dogs at festivals?
Ooh, I don't want to. It's like intense. The one that I had at Lone Star Jam
Uh-huh.
was really good. The second one that I had at Larry Joe Taylor Fest this past year was great.
The second one.
The second one. The first one wasn't cooked all the way, so
yeah.
I was a little scared of that one.
They
But
can
the
get-
second one
They
was
can get in a hurry sometimes.
Yeah,
That's
that is
okay.
okay.
Well, how was the state? Did you eat a corn dog when you were at
Oh,
the
I
state
did.
fair?
Oh, okay. Just forget everything I just said, and I can't believe that I didn't remember because I'm the most Texan as they can probably come.
Right?
And Fletcher's is everything to me.
Isn't that great?
It's the best corn dog ever.
You think they put crack in it? I
Oh,
think
yeah.
That's pretty much
I got
what
to
it is.
make one, so I
Did
know.
you really?
I did. It was amazing.
Oh, but that was fun.
It's actually way harder than it looks,
You
but
didn't
it was
burn
great.
yourself or anything? That's-
Almost.
Yeah.
It was hot back there too. I was like, props to y'all for
I
sitting
walked
back here.
by it, and
Yeah.
it's like, whew,
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, I was doing the show out there every Friday during the state fair, and it was just like, man, that's hot.
Yeah. But it's the best Texas feeling to look up with your corn dog in hand, looking
Mhm.
at big text. You're like, this is it. I'm home.
I'm in Texas.
I'm in Texas.
Absolutely. So if somebody walks up to you and says, I want to hear one song from you that tells me who you are as an artist. What is the song that you would say for them to listen to?
Whoa, good question.
That's why I do this.
Ooh, I don't know. I feel like I'd probably. I mean, the first one that came into my head was the very first song that I ever put out, which was Patsy Kinda Night.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was the song that made me believe in myself as a songwriter. Because
awesome.
before that point, I'd never written a song that was actually worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of changed everything for me.
How many songs do you think you wrote before you got to Patsy Kinda Night?
Honestly, not many.
Really?
I really didn't write songs until I was probably 16, which is young still, but
Until I was 16.
Until I
I
was
waited
16.
a long time.
but I don't know. I just could never figure out how to be my own writer. I was
Right.
trying to be like everybody else and do their whole writing way, but it just never worked out.
That's the hardest part for an artist, isn't it? To figure out who they are as an artist and not to emulate anybody else.
Definitely. I still struggle with it because I hear something I like and I'm like, oh, I'm going to write a song just like that. And then I'm like, wait, I can't do that.
Right,
they will
that's
sue
been
me.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, then there's the lawsuit part of the thing.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, Graycie York, you want to do one more song for us?
Yeah, I'll do Patsy Kind of Night, actually.
I would love to hear it. Let's do it.
Ooh. Let's get this one. He left without words to say. He didn't clean up the mess he made. My emotions are running free at the thought of you leaving me. Well, how could you do that to me? I may be walking after midnight, 'cause he's got leaving on his mind. Ain't it crazy, baby? She's got you tonight, and it don't matter how I feel. Words I can't say, she will. Somebody just spin that 45, 'cause it's a Patsy kind of night. He tried to call and apologize, said I was wrong and baby you were right, but he left me alone with tears in my eyes, and he wanted her, and that was his last goodbye. And I know I shouldn't cry. I may be walking after midnight, 'cause he's got leaving on his mind. Ain't it crazy, baby? She's got you tonight, and it don't matter how I feel. Words I can't say, she will. Somebody just spin that 45, 'cause it's a Patsy kind of night. She makes me feel when I can't anymore. She understands this pain I'm in. She won't mind the tears I've cried. I may be walking after midnight, 'cause he's got leaving on his mind. Ain't it crazy, baby? She's got you tonight, and it don't matter how I feel. Words I can't say, she will. Somebody just spin that 45, 'cause it's a Patsy kind of night. It's just a Patsy kind of night.
That is still just a great song.
Thanks.
It really is. Graycie York, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. And we've like rescheduled this thing like 4 times, and it's all on my end, and I apologize for that. But I'm so glad we were able to finally get you in here. One day I'm going to send you a text begging you for tickets to your big arena show. Just remember this moment if you would. I appreciate that.
Will do. I got you on the list already.
I make a DJ paycheck, so this is all I got. And the only reason my wife married me was for the free tickets. So,
Hey.
you know.
Hey, she stuck around.
I know,
Happy
right?
anniversary, by the way.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I just celebrated 5. That's nice. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Best of luck to you, and can't wait to hear what you put out next.
Thank you.